What is going on, everybody? We're doing something a little bit different today. We are doing an NF song bracket. I have 64 songs made into one bracket. We are going to go through it and we are going to determine which song is my favorite, or in other words, the best NF song. Now, Nate does have more than 64 songs, so that meant I had to make some cuts. And honestly, I can't remember everything that I cut. I know I tried to cut a couple from each album. That way I still had a good bit of songs from each album. I tried to pick more of the lesser known ones, but also I tried to pick more hype songs than deep songs because some of Nate's hype songs are similar, and I just feel like more people kind of gravitate more towards the heartfelt ones and that kind of thing anyway. So I can't remember everything that got cut out. If I somehow cut your favorite one out, I'm sorry. But like I said, we got 64 songs to go through here. Let's get it. So with our first matchup, we have 10 Feet Down versus Real. 10 Feet Down, of course, coming from Perception, and Real coming from Therapy Session. This is a tough one because Real is, I'm pretty sure, the first NF song I ever heard. It was definitely one of them. Dang. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Real is the first one I heard. But if I'm being honest, 10 Feet Down is the better song. Sometimes when I go back to Real, I cringe is a strong word, but I'm not even going to expand on that. 10 Feet Down is the better song. Next up, oh boy, this is a tough one. I Miss the Days versus Change. They're both from The Search. They're both two of the best songs on The Search, in my opinion. However, Change is one of my favorite songs by NF. It's probably a top 5 song of mine from his. Not probably, definitely is. So, I'm sorry if I upset anybody, but Change has got to get the W for me here. Next up, we have No versus Lie. Both songs from Perception. This is another tough matchup. And I usually do gravitate more towards his heartfelt songs, but I do think that No is one of his better hype songs. Like, I really, really enjoy No. So this might be a hot take, I don't know, but I'm going to put No over Lie. And then we have Statement versus Options. This is a really good matchup. They're both hype songs. They're both really good hype songs. Two of my favorite hype songs from him. But honestly, I think Statement is the winner here. I wouldn't be mad either way on this one. Honestly, either way you went is a W. But I'm going to go with Statement. I do have more nostalgia with Statement. It was one of the first few that I heard from NF, and it's one that I can literally, just off the top of my dome, no beat, no nothing, spit it word for word, bar for bar. It's a special place in my heart. Love Statement. Next, we have If You Want Love versus Oh Lord. And this stinks because I really wanted to see Oh Lord go decently far into this tournament because I think it is a great NF song. I think it is a super underrated NF song. However, it's just not better than If You Want Love. If You Want Love it's such a good song. It's one of the first tracks where we see Nate sing a lot. So that's another sentiment of it, and it's really just a beautiful song, so we're going to go with If You Want Love. Next, we have Paralyzed versus Like This. This is another tough matchup, bro. This is just so hard because I love all his songs, and it's like, I feel like I'm going to say this every time. Paralyzed is a very deep song. It's a very sad song, and kind of like how I was feeling with Oh Lord, I would love to see Paralyzed move on because I do really enjoy it. Like This, I prefer Like This. Like This is going to get the dub here. And now we've got Intro 2 versus Story. This is another really interesting one because, like, Intro 2 is a dope track, but it's also one of those tracks that sometimes I go back to, and I really don't know what the word is because cringe is just such a harsh word. I don't want to say cringe, but it's like a little eesh. But it's not a bad song. I really promise I'm not saying that. But Story, we saw Nate do something that we've never seen from him. He tells an awesome story. You get an insane music video with it. It's legit a story. And I'm going to have to pick Story over Intro 2. Just so y'all know, I'm seeing these matchups for the first time too. I typed all his songs in and then just hit randomize. So when I see some of these matchups, it kind of hurts my heart because I want to advance them both, but I can't. We have I Can Feel It versus Gone. This is super tough, man. This is super tough. I love Gone. I think it's one of the best songs from Hope. One of, not the best. But I really love I Can Feel It, bro. It's like the most slept on song from Therapy Session. Either way I go, I'm trying to play both scenarios in my head. It hurts me. I don't want the fact that Gone is new to be biased. I love I Can Feel It. I might regret this later, I don't know, but I'm moving I Can Feel It. Next we have Time versus My Life. A lot of you guys are probably going to disagree with me on this. I know a lot of people really enjoy Time, and I do enjoy Time, don't get me wrong. But My Life was actually one of my favorite songs from Perception, which is, I don't think that's a super popular opinion. I don't see people talk about My Life a lot when it comes to Perception, or really his music at all. So, but my pick is My Life. I do prefer it to Time, but they're both great songs. Next up, we have Let You Down versus Trauma. We have NF's biggest song versus one of his most, what would you say? Trying for something different. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a word. Unique songs, I guess. We got a track from Nate where he is straight up singing the entire time. Both of these tracks are great. My gut says Trauma. My heart says Trauma. But the fact that Let You Down blew him up, I also want to lean that way. But I am going strictly off of my opinion. And if I had to choose between a song, give me Trauma. Now we've got No Name versus Hate Myself. Two completely different tracks. Hate Myself is a deep track. It's a sad track. But No Name is, I think, a song that has no flaws in it. It is where you get an NF that, I would say this is like peak NF. This is like, I believe this was between the time of Therapy Session and The Search. It was like the single between. And I really think that was some of the best music he was making. And it's a great hype track, bro. Like, I was in awe of this track. We're gonna pick No Name here. Next up, we've got Happy versus When I Grow Up. Happy is a good song from Hope. I will say that I'm not as crazy about it as some other people. I know I've seen some people say that's their favorite song from Hope. It's definitely not even top 3 for me. When I Grow Up, however, is another super dope hype song. The music video for When I Grow Up is awesome, the one for Happy is too, but that ending scene in the video when I grow up with, you got the 2 kids there versus when that beat smacks and then the whole crowd's there, that's crazy. When I Grow Up is just such a good concert song, and I've been there live for that song, and it's great. I gotta go When I Grow Up. Speaking of top 3 from Hope, well, here we are with Mama versus Returns. Returns is another really good hype track, but I'm not even gonna lie, we're gonna keep this short and sweet. Mama, it's not even a debate. Next, we have Breathe versus Suffice. I might ruffle some feathers here. I don't know. I do think Suffice is a good track. I don't think it's near NF's best. There are times when I'm hearing Suffice that I hear options. Suffice really reminds me a lot of the other hype tracks. And with Breathe, you have a really heartfelt track, one that a lot of people sleep on. When I hear people talk about Therapy Session, Breathe is not usually one that I hear mentioned. And even some of my friends, it's like their least favorite track from Therapy Session. I've always loved Breathe. It's had a special place with me, so Breathe is going to move on. And now we've got the first intro versus outro. The first intro goes crazy. This is when NF really showed his rapping ability. This song does a great job of showing what the dude can do. However, outro is... It really feels like a movie. You've got the awesome music video, one of my favorite music videos he's ever done, where he's walking through the old music videos that he's done. You get insane lyrics on outro. I think overall outro is a better song. And our last song from this side of the bracket is Notepad versus Hope. And I am actually devastated to see this matchup. I love both of these songs. Notepad is probably my favorite track from Mansion. Maybe besides Mansion. I don't know, I'd have to think about it, but Notepad is definitely top 3 for Mansion for me. But Hope, bro. It's literally just like a movie. the ending of Hope is is literally probably the best 30 seconds or minute, however long it is, of NF's career. I can't pick Notepad over Hope, but I hate to see Notepad go. But Hope will advance. So before we flip to the other side of this bracket, I do want to make it known that this video is actually going to be 2 different parts. If I made this whole bracket into one video, we would be looking at probably over an hour of content. And I know that when you're first clicking on a video, committing to a whole hour is like a really long time, and I probably wouldn't even do it myself. So we're going to split this into 2 different parts just so it's not so overbearing, especially for new viewers. So we're going to do this side of the bracket, our last 32 songs here, and then the next video we will do the rest of the bracket. So our first matchup from this side, we have actually got Wait versus Mansion. I was just talking about how Mansion is one of my favorite tracks from Mansion. It's gotta be. I mean, if you don't agree with that, I'm sorry, but you're wrong. Mansion easily wins this. However, Wait is a really good song too. Now we've got Lost versus Remember This. Lost being the feature from Hobson is a really dope song. However, Remember This holds a really special place for me, and I do think overall it is a better track than Lost. Now we've got 2 Hope songs facing off. We have got Let 'Em Pray versus Careful. For me, I think this is a pretty easy one. I do prefer Careful. I think the chord A feature goes crazy. The NF chorus and NF's own verse goes crazy. I do like Let 'Em Pray, but I do think Careful wins this one. Here we've got 2 super emotional songs, but I mean, there's no way I could vote against it. We've got How Could You Leave Us versus Mistake. Mistake is one of my favorite songs from Hope, man. But if you love NF, How Could You Leave Us? I mean, come on. I don't even have to say anymore. How Could You Leave Us advances. We now have Intro 3 versus Destiny. And by what I'm seeing, my heart is beginning to break because I think it might be 2 of my favorite songs face soon. But we'll deal with that when we deal with it. Intro 3 easily wins this. Destiny is a dope hype track. But Intro 3, I think it's some of Nate's best writing. Super emotional track. I get goosebumps even now when I play it. Intro 3 wins easy. Now we've got GRINDIN versus Pandemonium. This is tough because they're both really good hype songs. I kind of wish Suffice would have got placed against GRINDIN because I would like to see GRINDIN move on. But I do think Pandemonium, at least so far, obviously the album is still very new at the time I'm making this. So right now, Pandemonium has been my favorite hype track. And I would say it's better than GRINDIN, so we're going to move Pandemonium on. And now we have got Y versus Bullet. I don't want this video to go on too long, so I'm not going to dive super deep into all the matchups. Y is going to move on. It is a better song than Bullet. Now we've got Paid My Dues versus The Search. The Search is literally one of NF's best songs. It easily beats Paid My Dues. Here we've got My Stress versus Outcast. I feel like this might ruffle some feathers as well. I know Outcast is insanely liked by the NF community, and I really like it. But for me, man, My Stress, it's such a relatable song for me. I love, love, love My Stress. And as much as I do love Outcast, I prefer My Stress. Speaking of tracks I love, 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 we have got Dreams versus Lost in the Moment. Both phenomenal tracks. However, Dreams wins this for me. Top 5 NF song. We've got 2 newer tracks in this one. We have got Turn My Back versus Drifting. Turn My Back is probably my least favorite hype track from, I almost said from Pandemonium, from Hope. Drifting is one of my favorite songs from the Clouds mixtape. Drifting wins this one. Oh wow, this is a toughie. We have got Running versus Clouds. I cannot deny that Clouds is darn near a perfect song. The only place he kind of loses me is the Hollywood part. I get what he's saying, but that part's a little corny to me. Running, however, is a perfect song, bro. 10 out of 10. Running moves on, but it is close. Clouds is crazy. Now we've got Leave Me Alone versus All I Have. Brother, I hate to see all these Mansion songs go. And like, in my gut, I really want to move on All I Have just because there's so much nostalgia in All I Have. And like, it's that's one of the earliest versions of NF you see. But Leave Me Alone is better. I have to choose Leave Me Alone. And now we've got Thinking versus I Just Want to Know. And initially my gut said Thinking because I do really enjoy Thinking. And nowadays I would listen more to Thinking than I Just Want to Know. But overall, I do think I Just Wanna Know is the better song. I just think I really overplayed it, and for me, I really like to relate to music, and I just can't relate to I Just Wanna Know as well as I can Thinking. However, there was a time, bro, when I was bumping I Just Wanna Know like crazy. I will never forget the first time I watched him perform I Just Wanna Know. I had to pick I Just Wanna Know. Next up, we have got Nate versus Wake Up. Wake Up is another incredible song from Mansion, but Nate, it is a song that the first time I heard, and every time I hear it, it just blows me away. The whole idea of speaking to your younger self, I thought that was a really dope concept, and it's a super emotional track. Nate is going to win this one. My voice is getting dry, and here we are with the last matchup of the round of 64. We have got Layers versus Therapy Session. Layers is probably my favorite hype track from Clouds. I think that is an unpopular opinion, but Layers, it blew me away the first time. It's still super hype. The amount of flow changes and all of that is crazy. But we've got Therapy Session, one of NF's deepest songs, and you really get a glimpse of what he's talking about, who he is. And even though I really am not crazy about the whole therapy, that little chorus there, I've always not been crazy about that. But when you're just talking about what he's talking about in the song, and as far as his verses go, I do have to pick Therapy Session here. But there we are, guys. That is the first round of 64 from our NF song tournament. Like I said, we're going to have to split this up into 2 different videos because it would just be way too long of a video if I did it all at once. I hope you guys did enjoy this. This is definitely different for me. I usually only do reactions on this channel, but I just thought this would be something really cool to do, so I wanted to be sure and do it. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new around here, especially so you don't miss that second part where we are going to find out what is my favorite and what is the best NF song. I'm super excited and I can't wait to see you in the part 2. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time. Peace.